Thank you, David. You're welcome. That was great. And thank you, band and singers. Yes, let's give them a hand. I'm not going to call your name like Barbara does because I will screw one of those names up. Oh, I love y'all. Hey, Paul, my grandson Aiden plays violin. You guys need to meet. All right. I use this time any way I want, don't I? What should we talk about today? Okay, that's a great idea, David. Let's talk about what am I making this mean? As students of the science of mind, we know that we're creating our life experience through our thoughts and our beliefs and our understanding of life. The thing is that a main ingredient in that is what we make things mean. We think that we are doing it the same way everybody else is, but I want to assure you we're not. We have our own way of seeing the world. We have our own way of perceiving life, and it is different than every other person on the planet. So that's a starting point for us to realize that we may not, if we're all doing it differently, then there's a high level of subjectivity in who we believe, how we believe life works, and what we put in meaning into. And I'm not telling you you're wrong. I would never do that. But there may be some things in your understanding of life, the things that you bring meaning to, that need a little attention. And I want to talk to you about that and how that works today. Now, I'm not saying that the meaning that we put to some things isn't great, because it is. For example, the meaning I put to beach has great value in my life. And why isn't this working? Because I have it on off. There's meaning there. Let's try this. That's the beach that Barbara and I go to.
Yay.
See that water? That was bathtub water this past week. It was like you wanted to take a bar of soap in with you. It was so warm and pleasant and cozy. And the sun was nice and the wind was easy. And it was just that perfect experience, which I hold as a perfect time to relax and to rejuvenate myself. I sleep a lot at the beach because those crashing waves just take me to an altered state. And it's wonderful for me. And probably this isn't the smartest thing to do with you right now, because we're all sitting in a room in Asheville, and none of us can just immediately, instantaneously experience this, but it demonstrates the idea of using meaning effectively. I look forward to my time with Barbara at the beach. Like I said, I sleep. We came home yesterday morning. We got an early flight. We were home, we had to circle the airport several times because of the fog, but we did finally land and got home, and it wasn't long before I was ready for my nap. And I got over it, because there was plenty of things to do, but that's an example of a meaning that really works. And that's great. Now, you can also have meaning that doesn't work because it's not fulfilling a thing within you. In fact, it brings up angst when you recognize something exists and you're not completely clear about it, or you have had less than great experiences, or something in your life, in your past, has tagged an event or a concept with an idea to where when it happens to you, you don't feel so good. For example, it's not just my birthday, it's my 65th birthday. I know, and you will applaud, of course you will. But I want to assure you, to everyone on the planet, the idea of me being 65 is filled with the idea of, ooh, he's old. Let me explain. This child would think that 65 was really old. Probably older than they could understand, but old. Wow, these folks, they think that 65 is pretty young, right? So it really has to do with perceptions, and it has to do with life experiences. But truly, it really doesn't matter in this situation as to what anyone else thinks but me. because it's my meaning that I'm applying to the fact that I'm 65 years old today. And what does that mean? How does that change my life? Well, one of the things that I want to do is make sure that I use the second statement. The first statement. What do I want it to mean to me? Well, I get to choose. I get to say what it means. Most people say, what do I think it means? With the idea that meaning is universal. It's not. Reality is not universal. On planet Earth, we have, I don't know how many people here, 6.5 billion, some ridiculous number of people living on planet Earth, each one applying meaning in their own way. Oftentimes according to their culture, but nonetheless their choice. But yet they think somehow that it already means something, and that's what they should hold with it. And that's not true. Yes, there are cultural norms that apply meaning, but still it's an absolute choice that we have as to what meaning we will apply in any said situation. So we get to choose, and that's a good thing. Meaning is not universal, neither is reality. Reality, we think that there's this high universal reality. And I can't say for sure that there's not, but what I see, especially in the human experience, is that we all have our own reality. So thinking that you're transcending a reality on the planet into something that is absolute is unreasonable. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to people that you would disagree with when you think they're being stupid because they don't agree with the reality that you hold as absolutely true. Realities are choice. So is meaning. Yet it's a very powerful tool as we apply meaning. And what I want to do is look at how that works in our lives. So the question would be, what are you applying meaning to in your life? And how's that working out for you? You may just, in a general sense, say, well, it's working out fine. Because it's my beliefs, it's working for me. Great. Are you happy? Are you content? Are you at peace? Are you safe? Are you clear about yourself every second of every day? If anyone in this room can say yes to that, then you come up here and I'll sit down. Because life is filled with those moments of unrealized expectations or events that are occurring or about to occur that we've applied a meaning to that isn't working for us. It's not a meaning that has value for us because it creates angst in our lives. And when we have angst in our lives, something's not right. Something's not working. And I see it in my life. I see it in other people's lives all the time. That they're upset about something that happened and they have a concern and they're not clear and they're confused and they're upset. Well, that's because they've applied a meaning to a certain circumstance or situation or a person, and they've picked something that creates that in their lives. So I ask you again, how's it working? How's it working? I believe that we, being an absolute choice of what we believe is real in our lives and applying meaning to it, gives us this amazing ability to create our lives the way we want. Yes, we have unrealized expectations. But nothing happens that's wrong. Just because it doesn't meet an expectation doesn't make it a bad thing. It means there's something there to evaluate. There's something to look at. And I have to tell you that I am married to a person that knows how to shift anything into a desired meaning on a moment's notice. Yeah. I call that in her rationalization. But what's wrong with rationalization? We need some nice, juicy rationalizations in our life. As long as they're lifting us up. If they're helping us get to where we want to go, that's working. Now, there are examples, of course, of ones that don't work, like this one. I'll give you a moment to read that. This is not a helpful rationalization. So I'm not talking about just generally making excuses for yourself, but finding some point of value in what has happened, even though it's different than what you imagined. I talk to people who have gone through serious illnesses, and they have told me, and cancer comes to mind, it's not the only, but that going through that experience was the most powerful thing in their life. That's because they applied a meaning of value to it, so that they could have the life that they came to live and continue to improve and build on that life. If that illness or that disease or that circumstance in your life is the worst thing that ever happened, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the worst thing that ever happened. And it's not going to easily go away. So why do it? When you're in the driver's seat, when you've got the controls to make your life the way you want, why not find something in it? Something in every circumstance that brings something of value to you. The thing that Barbara does with her creating meaning, one of the great examples that happens quite often is that we may be leaving home to go somewhere later than I was planning. And I grumble. We were supposed to leave 10 minutes ago. Barbara will instantly and without hesitation say to me, if we had left 10 minutes ago, something cataclysmic could have happened on the highway that would have just messed everything up. So we're leaving at exactly the right time to get there exactly the way we need to, healthy, whole, and complete in every way. How can you argue with that? And I'm inviting you today to apply meaning to your life so that when those things happen to you, you don't immediately find fault. I remember one day I actually complained to a person in the booth for not doing my slides in the right speed. Actually, it happened several times, but only once on stage. And then, of course, I went to Best Buy and found that you could buy a little clicker. Plug it into the computer back there, and I can do it so that when it doesn't go the way I want, it's me. That's a much better place to be because then I'm controlling the circumstance and I can change it. If someone's not following my talk back there, I can't change that. I have the control. This is a good thing. And going through those experiences took me to a place that made that little thing work in my life. This is going on all the time in our minds. Things are coming up. Remembrances, memories, circumstances that are happening, events. That's happening to us all the time, and we're applying meaning. And when we apply a meaning that creates some pain in our lives, some discomfort, some problem, we're not serving ourselves. It's time to do something different. So I'm calling you today to rethink this thing. Rethink how it is you experience the world through the meanings that you apply and create to the circumstances of your life. I want to invite you to catch yourself when you're about to say something is wrong or bad or you're not happy about it. Rethink that and see what's happening that might actually make your life work better. What is that thing waking you up to that you can know and use from now on? Happens all the time. You know, one of the things that most of us do in a very logical way is when someone we love makes their transition into another life, we get sad. We miss them. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we ache as we mourn their passing and they're not in our lives anymore. When at the same time, that person that we so admire and adore had a great life. And our time spent mourning and the loss of them doesn't take us to a place of remembering how amazing they are, how wonderful they were, and how they touched our lives. Just another little example of how that works. It's happening with us all the time. Another concept that has come up in my life and Barbara's life recently, as she told you just a few days ago that she had a birthday. She's actually older than me, 8 days. But this idea of retirement. And I want to announce to you this morning that Barbara and I have decided to retire from struggle in our lives. If it's not fun, we're not doing it. If it's not exciting and delightful, you know, we've done all that. We've done all the hard work. We're gonna enjoy ourselves now. And we're not going anywhere, but we're not doing that thing anymore. We're gonna enjoy our lives every day. And I'm gonna really hold that myself accountable to experience my life without struggle. So I'm retired. And it's really working for me. Oh, and go back to the birthday thing. It has been a bit of a thing for me. And I think the tag that I have on being 65 is that my dad died when he was 64. And if you know anything about men, they tend to relate things about their dads to their life. My dad died too young. It's too long a story to share with you. But he left. And I've always had that little thing in the back of my mind. Well, my grandfather died when he was in his early 60s, and my dad died at 64. What's going to happen to me? Well, as of today, I am no longer tied to the timeline of my father's life. So the meaning for me is thank you, Pop, who is my granddad, and Dad, for giving me the opportunity to exceed your life expectancy. Wow, that feels really good. How many other things in my life or in your life could you rethink and create a different meaning, a different value point that really takes you to the place that makes your life better by having had that experience? We're filled with them. There are so many things that we could look at. So do that this week. Take a little time when things come up and you get a little bit of angst and go, okay, what do I want that to mean? And see how it looks differently. And more importantly, see how it feels differently in your life. Because you can do it. You can create it any way that you want. Right here, right now, and forever. That's what I'm going to do. I invite you to do it with me. Thank you very much. I love you all. Yay. Thank you.
So our welcomers have come forward. Who's here for the very first time? We have Gina. Where's Gina? Gina from Chicago. She's a practitioner at the Chicago Center. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And keeping our fingers crossed, she may be moving here and she would be wasn't. So welcome back from India, Victoria and Sandra. Yay. I love it when people just go, oh, I think we'll go to India. Would you like to come? Well, yes, I think we should go. And off they go. It's amazing. Life is such an adventure. And now I'd like to invite our prosperity acceptors to come forward, take out what you're going to give. Thank you for the many ways you give to this center, whether it's through the auto giving, whether it's through PayPal. I love the group that says never let the sun go down on a tithe, and they go through PayPal, whether it's having your bank send in the checks, and whether it's you people watching online, all 11,000 of you in month before last. I don't have the stats for August yet. But you can go to the donate button on your YouTube page, and it will take you right to our PayPal account, and then you too can contribute to this amazing work that we do. Check it out, 11,000 people in July. 11,000 people tuning in to be a part of this celebration and these classes and to learn and grow in who they are. So I like to open my hand, put the gift in it, cover it with my other hand, and bring it close to my heart, as I know that God is the source of all supply, that everything is made out of spirit, everything comes through spirit, everything is spirit. And money is the action and flow of spirit in our lives. Money is wonderful. And so we open up to that flow. We accept all of the blessings and all of the good that is ours. And we give this gift knowing that we go with that gift to touch and transform the world. It is a continuous flow of giving and receiving that lifts us to greater heights of prosperity, of health, of love, and in joy. And I know that each one of us comes together this day to make this Center for Spiritual Living Asheville all that it was ever meant to be. It is a place of peace, a beacon of light, a tower of strength, and a fountain of wisdom that touches the lives of all who call it home. And we'll repeat our investment affirmation together aloud. I freely and joyously give from my abundance of fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses the world. And so it is.